people who are involved and care about the same things that they do, and really just enjoying the vibe of this neighborhood and this event. So my name is Adina Eaton. I'm here with Housing Diversity Corporation, and I'm the CMO for them. And I'm going to be your MC today. And I want to just say a few things. As you know, projects like this are very, very complicated and sometimes require a Herculean effort to get off the ground. So, I know the puzzle piece imagery is really kind of cliche and all, but it really is a puzzle piece. And it's, you get the equity, or you think you have the debt, and then you need the equity goes away, and then you need to get that back and just kind of coordinate everything and find the right group of people who share the vision, right, and have the determination to get it done. And we have so many great people and great organizations that share the vision and have the determination to get it done. And I'm so, so pleased to have so many of you here today to celebrate this public-private partnership and all of the people who help make it happen. So first up, we're going to be hearing from some of the equity portion of that puzzle. So CEI Bullis and Elevate came in as our lead equity investor, and they believed in the project, and they held a place for the project, and they stuck with the project as we got the other pieces set perfectly for the project. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome both Sam Spencer, who is the CEO and Managing Director of CEI Bullis Capital Management. Did I say it right? Yeah. And Noelle St. Clair Lenz, who is the CEO and Managing Director of Elevate Impact Capital Management. And so because they partner and they're intertwined together, we're going to hear from Sam first, and then Noelle, and then I'll be back to introduce the next speaker. Sam, Noelle? Noelle's going to go first.
Thank you, Sam. So congratulations, everyone. It's always exciting to be at a groundbreaking like this event. These don't come together easily. It's with a lot of hard work and determination and intentional collaboration. So thank you, Adina. Like she said, my name is Noelle Lentz. I'm the CEO of Elevate Impact Capital. And Elevate is a mashup of words really that make up our mission, which is elevating communities, alleviating poverty, and activating entrepreneurial ecosystems. And we know that quality, affordable housing is critical to meeting that mission. Elevate was created as an impact investing subsidiary of Woodforest National Bank, which is based in Houston. I'm based in Philly, and we're investing in a project in Seattle. So we care about impact across the country, but just thrilled to work with all the many stakeholders here in Seattle that made this project come to fruition. Again, it doesn't happen without intentional collaboration. And speaking of collaboration, we can't do what we do at Elevate, mobilizing like-minded investors to these projects without the partnership of CEI Bullis Capital Management, which is led by Sam Spencer. So I will turn it to Sam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Noelle. It's wonderful to be here in Othello among the many public and private partners, as well as community members that made today possible. As Adina and Noelle said, my name is Sam Spencer. I'm the CEO of CEI Bullis Capital Management. And through our partnership with Elevate Impact Capital, we're one of the investors in the Atrium Court project. CEI Bullis is a mission-focused fund management company that invests in high-impact, community-supported projects, real estate projects throughout the country. Our impact focus includes projects that will help create good jobs, affordable and workforce housing, Main Street redevelopments that will not cause displacement of current residents, projects that support nonprofits, and environmentally sustainable developments that incorporate green building standards and renewable energy. We decided to invest in the Atrium Court project because it embodies so many of our company's objectives. Atrium Court has been designed with community needs in mind, and the development team has conducted extensive multilingual outreach to the neighborhood residents. The project will provide much-needed transit-oriented affordable housing to Othello, helping preserve the neighborhood's long-term affordability and livability. A majority of the units will be rent restricted to be affordable to people earning between 50% and 80% of area median income. And importantly, thanks to the support provided by the Amazon Equity Housing Fund, which Alice will tell you a little bit more about in a minute, these affordability requirements will last for a staggering 99 years. The project has a strong focus on environmental sustainability, including modern green building design and operating systems like solar power and no fossil fuel dependent heating systems. In addition, consistent with the City of Seattle's goal of encouraging transit-oriented development, as you know, Atrium Court sits less than 200 feet away from the Othello Light Rail Station, reducing future tenants' needs for cars, resulting in a smaller financial burden and a carbon footprint. While they're very nice to let people like me and Noel come up and talk to you, the real credit and all the hard work and vision for Atrium Court is really the product of the two development firms that have carried it out, Housing Diversity Corporation and Nitze Stagen. And I want to just briefly thank all the people that we've worked with at both firms who have painstakingly put together this project over a long period of time. These projects take a long time to piece together all the financing and permitting and the like. So from at Housing Diversity Corporation, let me thank Brad Patton, Laura Patton, Matthias Kohanim, Robert Tiscanero, Jack Rector, and Adina Eden. And at Nitze Stagen, I'd like to thank Peter Nitze, Lisa Nitze, and Daniel Gallagher, among many others at the firm who have worked on the project. You've all done an incredible job. Thank you for your vision, your dedication, your patience, your perseverance, your fortitude and sheer hard work over an extended period of time, over many years, to make this socially and environmentally impactful project possible. We're thrilled and proud to be associated with you with such mission-aligned developers and excited to make the Atrium Court project a reality. So thanks very much, and I'll now turn it back over to Adina.
Thank you so much, Noel and Sam. So lovely to hear from you. Okay, so remember that debt piece? Yeah, we're going to talk about that now. And it was really hard. It was a real struggle this time around, especially following a regional banking crisis, following a pandemic, following the market doing what the market is doing, increased interest rates, inflation. Getting that debt piece in place was vital. As developers, a lot of times we're thinking equity, 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 right? And we rely on the debt to be there when we need it. But this market has shown us that we really do need to be looking for debt and be very thankful when we have partners who really understand why the project is important, needs to happen, and put themselves out there. And we have a senior lender and a junior lender on this project. And I cannot thank either of them enough, but we're going to talk about our junior lender first, because Amazon Housing Equity Fund came in with excellent terms on a junior mortgage that helped make this project really come together. We covenanted 99 years of affordability, which was right in line with what we set out to do anyway, and we're able to get a debt to really make this project go. I am thrilled to be able to introduce you to Alice Shoby. She's the Global Director of Amazon in the community, and she's going to talk about that with you.
I'm going to start with Ashe. My personal connection to this neighborhood is I practiced capoeira in this neighborhood, which is a Brazilian martial art. And Ashe is a greeting. It means vibrancy. It means a lot of different things. Energy, the spirit. And so I'm feeling a lot of Ashe today. I won't show you my capoeira moves because they're a little rusty, but you know, some other time. But so Ashe, and really excited to be part of it. I would also say, representing Amazon, I'm excited that we were called Junior. Like that also feels really good. So Amazon really set out with a vision when we created the $2 billion Housing Equity Fund of contributing to projects just like this, of providing a piece of the puzzle that was impossible or difficult to add in, and then really upping the game with things like 99 years of affordability, because we have found that a lot of times there's good intent, and then there's legal documents that say we're going to hang on to the affordability for a very long time, beyond our lifetime. So that's going to be very exciting for this community. So Amazon's Housing Equity Fund is funding projects here in Puget Sound as well as the DC and Nashville areas. And here in Puget Sound, I'm really excited that we have already funded 6,500 affordable housing units with $635 million of investment, which is all either grants or loans below market. I'll begin by saying if I had put all of our speeches into ChatGPT, it would have thanked everybody and talked about the importance of this project. So I just want to say +1 on all the gratitude to the partners that came in, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of the celebration.
Thank you so much, Alice. So, now that we've heard from the junior folks, let's talk about the senior lenders on this project, because Tres Capital came in with the lion's share of the debt on this project. They have worked with us before. They are great partners, and they believe in this project. They believe in us. I'm so happy to have Brody Toigo here today from Tres Capital. I'm going to give you his title too. He's the Managing Director, Head of Origination for Western U.S. from Tres Capital, Brody Toigo.
Thanks everyone for joining today on this momentous occasion as we celebrate the groundbreaking of Atrium Court. Today marks the beginning of a transformative journey, and I'm honored to represent Tres Capital as we embark on this exciting venture together. We'd like to thank the City of Seattle, King County District for their commitment and support, progressive initiatives that spur development and growth in our region. We'd also like to thank Brad Madden, Craig Hageson, and Peter Nitz for their continued partnership with Tres Capital and for their dedication to developing much-needed affordable housing. Tres Capital has been a leader in the lending community in North America for 25 years, and that longevity is built on partnerships like one we have with Brad, Craig, and Peter. We're proud to stand with all those involved in Atrium Court who have come together to get this project off the ground. We're especially thankful to the Amazon Housing Equity Fund to get this, for their commitment in growing and protecting housing to low to moderate income families in the Puget Sound region and beyond. As was previously mentioned, these aren't easy times to get deals done, but it's projects like this, in communities like this, with partners like this, that we're able to get these done. At Tres Capital, we're about investing in today to build for a better tomorrow. We're laying the foundation for a brighter future with today's groundbreaking milestone. Atrium Court will not only enhance the quality of life for the local residents, but hopefully serve as inspiration for future development in this area. So again, congrats to all members and parties involved in this. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Rome Nagatko, who kind of took did the heavy lifting on the Tres side to get this over the finish line. It was a lot of work and not a lot of time, so well done. And kudos again to all the volunteers.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts today. Seems to be the way that's working best. I am going to talk for a moment about my team at Housing Diversity Corporation because they are such an inspiration to me every day, and they just really, they worked so hard to make this happen for such a long time. Special thanks to Julie, Jack, and Bobby, Matthias, and Lauren, and Brad. I want to talk a little more about Brad because he's going to be the next person speaking. He is a piece of the puzzle, the CEO and founder of HDC, Housing Diversity Corporation, who's very near and dear to me because I have watched his determination, drive, effectiveness, and good nature throughout my life because I've known Brad as long as I've been alive. He's my brother. And I'm continually moved by his work and impressed by his commitment and inspired by him. So I would like to introduce you to the CEO and founder of Housing Diversity Corporation, Brad Padden.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Adina. And, I just want to say, I'm Brad. I'm the founder of HDC, and I love housing. And I love innovating in housing, and I love being in a city that has created a fertile ground for innovation in housing. Like Adina started in her speech, I just want to start off by acknowledging the HDC team. In this business, it's not what you say, it's what you do. And doing it in a tough market requires that every member of the team dig deep and find that inner drive, that extra gear. It takes incredible determination, grit, perseverance, which are all embraced by the HDC team. They had an amazing development to build, and they got it done, despite the headwinds. And building now is even more important than ever. What we've been through as a city over the past 4 years has been, for lack of a better word, mind-blowing. Pandemic, inflation, interest rates, regional banking crisis, a war in Europe, and now in the Middle East. I feel like every day we can move forward an inch, it feels like walking a mile. But here we are on February 6, 2024, and we are building. And we're not just building any project. We're building 261 net new affordable apartments that will help create a new, truly mixed income community here in Othello, in one of the most diverse zip codes in the country. That is really exciting. We did it with 100% private capital, which keeps costs down. Low cost means lower rents. Yet we have returns high enough to attract the capital we need to get the project started. We leveraged Seattle's progressive land use code. It's a currency that cities across the US control and that they wield at their discretion. We used it to build smaller apartments at a greater scale with less parking, embracing many of the elements of the city's comprehensive plan. We maximized the use of wood framing to sequester as much carbon as possible in an 85-foot structure. We embraced 100% electrification with no on-site combustion. And we have one of the tightest envelopes in the country thanks to Washington's progressive energy code. In addition, we utilized federal opportunity zone legislation to attract capital from our lead equity partners, CEI Boulos and Elevate Impact Capital, who share our vision for what equitable development is and for what this project could mean to the Othello community. When this project is completed, the citizens of our region will have a slightly easier time finding housing affordable to individuals earning 50 to 80% of area median income. These income bands are a critical spot to hit in the housing ecosystem since these renters don't qualify for housing subsidies, and yet they can be highly rent burdened. Unfortunately, the growth of our city and the incredible success we've had creating jobs has pushed up AMIs, leaving more and more individuals rent burdened. To be a truly inclusive city, we need homes for everybody, and this development does just that. But how we get these projects off the ground, how do we get projects like this off the ground in such a difficult environment? We do it thanks in large part to the Amazon Housing Equity Fund's commitment to our type of project, privately financed project that will produce affordable housing. Amazon is doing their part by leading and providing low-cost loans to developers like us to allow us to build projects like Atrium Court. Nobody made them do this. And this is another shining example of private industry working together to solve seemingly intractable problems. We also couldn't have done this project without a second critical source of debt, Trez Capital. This is our 4th project with Trez, and we're excited to continue the relationship with them on this project. We'd also like to thank the Othello community who are so welcoming to us. I see some members of OSCAT and friends of the Othello Park here. They were incredible partners through the process of permitting. We listened to everything they said, and we brought it into our project. This project helps embody what the community wants, and we're proud to have been a part of that process with you guys. I want to also thank our OZ Navigator partners, who've also invested countless hours into the Othello community. Peter, Lisa Nitza, Daniel Gallagher, and the rest of their extended team who've helped make this project possible. They've been great partners. Together, we've leaned into 6 Opportunity Zone projects across Seattle, over 1,100 units of privately funded housing. Thanks again, in part, to our mutual enjoyment of this opportunity to take capital gains and put them into affordable housing and then preserve that housing for the long term. In one of our buildings, I have to give a shout out. We have an authentic retailer, also an incredible entrepreneur. Tuna Bella is in our one industrial building. We have 5 multifamilies, 1,100 units, and Tuna Bella in our commissary kitchen in Sodo. All Opportunity Zone projects, all living the spirit of the Opportunity Zone. So if anybody says Opportunity Zones is just to give out for the wealthy, it's not. It's creating really important affordable housing. Speaking of great entrepreneurs, I want to acknowledge one of Seattle's finest construction entrepreneurs, Craig Havison of STS Construction Services, based out of West Seattle. He's a local, authentic business himself. He's got 150 payrolled employees, laborers of all different types, project managers, engineers, all working out of Seattle, building projects in Seattle. Craig builds anywhere between 5 to 7 new apartment buildings at any given time in this city. And almost all of them are also naturally occurring affordable housing. So big shout out to Craig. The commitment of his staff and his commitment to job site safety are unrivaled, and his team are incredible to work with. And every single employee that works there, I know, comes to work every day to maximize the quality of the building and the value that we're getting out of building this housing. Another great entrepreneur that I just have to mention on this project is our architect, David Neiman. I've known David since basically the day I moved to Seattle. He was my coach and my mentor about kind of the progressive land use code changes that were happening when I moved to Seattle in 2012. He was partly the architect to some of the code changes that have enabled us to build unlimited density, no park projects that emphasize housing over other things like having a car. David is a scholar and an evangelist of housing equity and fostering an inclusive housing ecosystem. His designs and approach to housing and those of his disciple there, Patrick Taylor, who was our lead architect on this project, are apparent in every aspect of this development where a positive user experience is absolutely essential. So really, that's, I guess, my whole list today. I really appreciate you listening and for all of you to be here and to travel this far. I know some of you came from far afield. Again, we thank you, and we are just absolutely thrilled to bring this project to market.
We're going to switch gears now and hear from some people on the political community side. I want to say I'm so happy that we have so many community members here today. And as well as the community members here, we also have Gervais Zalalay, who is a community member member and also a council member from King County District 2. I have it on good authority that Gourmet attended high school in the area, right, Franklin High School, before going off to study biology, first in, let's see, where was it, Seattle? So you studied biology at University of Washington, followed by Stanford University. Is that?
Close.
Okay, tell me.
Stanford for college.
Oh, Stanford. Okay, sorry, only Stanford. My bad. He left and went to California, but don't worry, he came back. And he's here to speak to us today as a community member and a council member. Please welcome Gourmet Zalaway.
Thank you. So close on the pronunciation, so close. I always tell people it's like my guy, Gourmet, if that helps. Yeah, no worries at all. Thank you all so much for being here today. I'm so excited to be here at the groundbreaking of Atrium Court. This is such a beautiful, beautiful project. I come to you today as a King County Council member who represents the district. But more importantly, I come to you today as a son of South Seattle. I grew up right here in this neighborhood. If you go a couple blocks that way, New Holly, which at the time was called Holly Park, I grew up there. If you go a couple blocks north of here, Rainier Vista, grew up there. I see my friend Jonas in the audience who grew up in the similar areas as I did. And as you mentioned, I went off to college in California. And the first thing people would say to me when I tell them that I'm from Seattle is, I didn't know there were any black people in Seattle. That's what they used to say to me, and I used to be a little bit shocked because when you grow up in New Holly or Rainier Vista, you look around and all you see is people of color, at least at that time in the 90s. I don't know how many people know this, but this zip code, 98118, for a long time was one of the most diverse zip codes in the country. Not just Washington State, 98118 was one of the most diverse in the entire country. If you walked around this street, you would see restaurants that were Chinese, Vietnamese, Ethiopian restaurants, Somali restaurants. You would hear so many people speaking dozens of different languages right here in this area, but something kept happening. Every time that I would get on a plane and fly back from California for winter breaks, I would start to see changes in the neighborhood. You know, fewer and fewer of the communities that I grew up around were here. More and more of the restaurants that I grew up eating in started to close down. You started to see the community centers that we used to go to starting to have fewer and fewer hours of operation while they're open. And even my own family, we went from living in Rainier Vista, which is another public housing development up north. We got displaced and pushed south to Skyway. And that is the story of thousands of people that we used to know in South Seattle. Fewer and fewer people being able to afford the homes that they had lived in for generations, being pushed out to unincorporated King County like Skyway, being pushed out to Federal Way, even outside of King County. I know so many people who have been pushed out to Pierce County. And that's an issue that inspired me to run for office in the first place. These big regional issues around displacement and the housing crisis. And slowly, as I studied more about what's going on in this area, the personal feelings of seeing my community getting pushed out turned into actual policy issues where you find out that Washington State has the fewest number of housing units per capita in the nation. Fewest number of housing units per capita in the entire nation. That's what I call a housing crisis. And then you start finding out that the 45,000 people who are right now housing unstable, that's mirrored by the 45,000 units of affordable homes that we have missing from our marketplace. And so when I see a project like this, Atrium Court Development, providing 271 units, is at least 271 units of affordable homes for 99 years, that is a huge solution to the housing crisis. And we know that when you provide affordable homes to people, people, that's not just brick and mortar, it's not just a place to sleep, it also creates a sense of belonging. It brings back people who were raised here for generations. It gives people a relief mentally who are feeling taxed by the cost of homes. Somebody just mentioned earlier how many people are housing cost burdened in this region. So I love the idea that we're bringing back a sense of belonging, a sense of community in South Seattle with this project, and I just want to thank every single person who made this possible. The Housing Development Consortium, Nitsa Stagen, Lisa, Peter, always great to see you all everywhere. Shout out to our labor, our construction workers, our builders who are in the house. I see some of you who are building this region. Thank you so much. Thank you to our funders. Thank you to Amazon. I saw my friend Jared in the back over there. Thank you just everybody who made this possible. This is huge. Housing is the bedrock of community, and we really appreciate you making this happen. Thank you.
Wait, is that my cue? All right, cool. Thank you, Gurmai, Zala.
You got it.
I swear to God, I practiced and then I forgot everything. But you're a very forgiving crew, so that's nice. So our next person to join us is pretty fabulous too. She's worked for Seattle Housing as an intern for SCIPTA. Don't worry, we're on track.
Okay.
We're on the run-up show was like, we're all good. And now the director of Seattle, the City of Seattle's Office of Housing, Micah Winkler-Chin.
Morning, everyone. I'm Mayor Bruce Harrell of the City of Seattle. I live about 2 miles that way. This is formerly my district. I grew up in the neighborhood. No, obviously I'm not Bruce Harrell, but I do have to acknowledge he would be very happy here because we are in the UW space. And if you have not realized, he's quite embedded with the UW. We're a little bit too close to Franklin and Cleveland and Beach. He prefers his Garfield area, but that's okay. As Adina said, I'm Micah Winkler-Chin. I'm the Director of Office of Housing, and much as Alice was describing her capoeira stories here, I didn't have capoeira stories, but I do remember being here almost 30 years ago and looking at this area before the light rail discussions were happening here. And 30 years in the minds of some of the residents here, like 30 years, that's nothing. Like, you're still new here. So at the Office of Housing, our vision is one where everyone has a safe and affordable home. Pretty simple. Easy statement, one line. I can actually get it tattooed on my arm if I could. I can remember that. And what we're really happy about, and what I'm kind of stunned about, is I drove through the place where my child went to preschool. As I came down here and saw the Safeway, which has been the Safeway for forever and all that, it's just that this project really adds a sense of, can really add to the sense of community, and it really makes me feel great to see like the Friends of Othello Park and other residents from the area here, because it, to me, is kind of a sign that they are working with the development team to really make it a part of the community, which for me is really, really important. And it really adds to the sense of community that I think Othello has really been striving for the past 30, 40, 50, 60 years, right? What is great about having housing that is close to transit, grocery stores, restaurants, cultural hubs, and parks, it's really, really essential, right, to what people need in order to thrive. And you're right next to Othello Park, you are right next to the light rail station, and the development team, who I've already told you guys that my expectations of you are so high. No pressure. Is that they're willing to embrace that and work on this. So I really want to thank you all for meeting the moment's need for more affordable housing. And to be clear, this moment's need of affordable housing has been a need for way longer than 20, 25 years because of the issues that Gurmai had stated. Yeah, we are way short on housing. We're number 1 in having the least number of units, which means that we're number 50 on having units, and we don't like to be there. So we need more housing units. So thanks again. do understand the challenges of working on a 2,000% increase in interest rates. That kind of puts a ding in the development budget. But as I said, my expectations of you two are very high. And I'm looking at you, Lisa, but I know Peter's in the background, so that goes to you too, Peter Nitza. And with that, I just look forward to seeing the MFTE application when it comes in, and looking forward to this project moving forward and becoming a part of this community. Thank you so much.
And Adina, back to you.
I'm back on track, everybody. So we're all good. This has been a great program, and I'm saving some of the best for last. I want to talk about Lisa Nitza, who has been so involved with making sure that the community is heard and with responding to needs of the community. I had the privilege of being able to attend some of her meetings for Othello Youth, where I just got to really experience yet again Lisa's power as a connector, as a person who brings everyone to the table who needs to be there and makes sure that, the authentic voices are heard. I so appreciate that when talking about youth and what the youth need, Lisa went straight to the youth and empowered them and amplified their voice and amplified community voices. And that's just kind of the thing Lisa does. She looks at a problem, and I feel like it might be like all the gears clicking into place. I'm not sure if that's true, but she's like, we can take this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and when we do, we get a whole that is so much more than the sum of its parts. And Lisa stepped in and helped me make sure the community was here today. And Lisa gave me an overview of the community so I could really understand a lot more about Othello. And she is a principal in Nitza Stegan and also in OZ Navigator, which is our partnership with Nitza Stegan to do these types of OZ projects. Please welcome Lisa Nitza.
We are so excited today got here. You can't imagine how hard we've worked to get here today. And it's really a big deal for all of us to have you guys here. I'm with Nitza Stegan. We're the partners of Housing Diversity Corp. You've heard about all of that already. And I want Maiko's shoes. No, I'm sure they're the wrong size, but I want to know where you got them. Nitza Stegan is all in on Othello. This is one of 3 attainably priced projects that are multifamily in Othello for us and Housing Diversity Corp. We think Othello is the greatest thing since sliced bread. We just love it. And we're involved in a bunch of other communities, but this is really, really a super one. And I'm so thrilled. Thank you for coming, all of you community members. I mean, I'm seeing all of my friends, Daphne and Mona and Dick. And where is Captain Brown? There you are, from SPD. We've got lots and lots of people here who represent the people that make up this community and are working to make sure that what they need and want is heard. And I listen to them, and we try really hard to build the buildings that way and to make sure that we've got the right retail on the ground floor so that it's serving a need. And Faduma, I also want to call you out. Where are you? There you are, back there. And Councilmember Zahaleh had to race off to a council meeting, but he's just been phenomenal. And also Nancy. Nancy runs UW Commons and has helped us with this wonderful space. So there are lots of other community members here, but I really appreciate all that you do. And I'd also like to thank our funders, because I have a career of 30 plus years in social impact. And in times like this, when market conditions make it incredibly difficult to do good things like bring housing that people can afford to market in a place that desperately needs it, it takes some enlightened folks. And they're hard to find, you know, in the nooks and crannies around the nation. But Housing Diversity Corp has done a fantastic job of finding a bunch of them, and it's really special to find sources of equity and debt that are looking, you know, that are specifically looking to search out and fund and value developers and projects such as this one that are designed and driven by positive social impact people and by positive social impact goals, which this project is, and which are the kind of people that we are. So, you know, we're certainly not perfect, but we're trying really, really hard. And CEI Bulos and Elevate and the Amazon Housing Equity Fund and TREZ, thank you so much. And Amazon, thank you so much for seeing a need and for not only funding this project, but we need to thank you for funding all the projects that you're funding, because it's a massive hole in the market at this point. And it's desperately needed, and you guys had the insights and the intelligence to be filling it. So thank you. And I'm not going to talk for any longer than that, because I know that everybody wants to get to the food. But Othello needs this housing project and all the ways that it's going to be bringing good things to the community. And our funders recognize this. They're stepping up, and they're making a huge difference. So thank you.
Everyone's stuck with me for 2 more minutes because I have a few things to say, always. But one thing I wanted to tell you about is that we're going to be going out to the site to break ground, which is the shovels and the hard hats part and all the photos. And of course, we want all our funders and our debt people there, but we would also love to invite the community members to come grab a shovel and break ground with us. But more importantly, and if you want to stay dry, you can pregame it. We're getting food from a number of really great local restaurants, so you don't have to stop and get takeout on the way back to the office or wherever you're going. Just stay and enjoy some Vietnamese food, some Mexican food, some Somali halal with us after that around 11:30. So let's get organized for photos and walk over to the Atrium Court site.